once again. It's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Good hump day evening. Y'all have made it through Wednesday. Say big old howdy and shout out to all of our Southern Fried Podcast fans and all of our breadheads out there in Cornbread Nation. You rock. We're so happy y'all are here with us tonight. We got a few things to talk about this evening on Hump Day News, and we're going to have a ball with it. I'm Rob. That's Dave over there. That guy, almost as good looking as me, but not quite. You know. How you doing this evening, Dave?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am here and alive. That's about it. But I'm going to be all right. Oh, excuse me.
Well, it's better than spending time at Gitmo, so no matter what's going on.
I don't know. If they have a good heat pad at Gitmo, I might could have stood being down there today. It's so good that those guys are getting to go to Gitmo. There's Miss Elizabeth. She done popped in here on us. You gonna threaten to tell anybody they can go to hell tonight? I know it's early, but we have to ask these things.
Hello. Hello, Miss Elizabeth. How are you?
So Dave, what's been going on in your world today?
I've been in a class all day for work, and so my world was finance. A lot about finances.
Yeah, did you learn anything?
I sure did.
Good answer.
I'm not a business major, and so anytime I'm working in finance, I always learn something.
So you're not going to send anybody, starting to send anybody to hell tonight? Okay, that was pretty fun when you did that the other day. I must admit we got chuckles out of it, and are still doing so. We're gonna let the thing build up a little bit, and we might just have to put a special treat out there for everyone. Hey, Dave, we got big news today.
What's that?
Trump signed another executive order. No more men in women's sports. Imagine that. What do you think about that?
Well, I was never for that. I don't know what all that entails. I'm not. I mean, I haven't read up on it to know how far that goes. So there's going to be, I mean, I'm not for it. I would say there will be legal challenges and stuff. Like I say, it's going to be another one of those cases that's going to go to the Supreme Court. I'm sure there's going to be a huge pushback by some. So I just think it'll be a legal fight.
Okay. Well, the NCAA has responded to that executive order. What in the world? Oh, sorry.
No, Miss Elizabeth, no one's cursed you. But they have like that video, which is only on about, I don't know, 15 different streams. It's a cool clip.
The NCAA president, Charlie Baker, responded to the executive order in a statement saying it provided a clear national standard. He said that the NCAA Board of Governors would review it and take steps to align the organization's policies in the upcoming days. Sounds like they're going to go along with it.
Well, I didn't say they would sue. I'm saying they will be legal challenges.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's an executive order. They're going to follow it. The legal challenges will come. We'll get a judge to try to get an injunction against it and to, on whatever basis. I would look for something to be filed in the next few days by some. Whether they'll be successful or not, I don't know. This is there's already a couple legal challenges out there on some of the things he's done. So I just say it's all I'm saying is I'm for it. I mean, I don't want it. I'm just saying it's a long ride. It's a long journey, and you got to watch and see what happens in the days and weeks and months to come to see. I've never been for it. It's been unfair. I support Riley Gaines in her fight that she's been leading in this. There's been a lot of girls that have suffered loss, boys that can't make it in their own sport flip over and, win a lot of championships. It's been a mess, but I just, I don't want to take a victory lap just yet. That's what I'll say, is I think that there is some, there's a journey to go yet on some of this. So,
kind of my thought on that is there's already co-ed teams in most of these sports anyway. Why not just go play co-ed?
Well, that's the thing. They're not going to. They don't want to be a co-ed. They want to be identified as a male.
Okay.
Or a female, or whatever the case may be. It has went both ways, but it predominantly has been boys, born males, saying they identify as a female now and playing in those sports. But I think there has been a case or two where it's went the other way as well. They would see co-ed as being not recognizing their how they identify.
Okay. Well, this is the same part of this.
I mean, by their standard, I haven't read through it. By the standard that some would, I think and again, don't hear me wrong. I'm not for any of that. I think to me it's sickening. But the law, how does the law read? How will the law read? I don't know. If they're given standing. If they're giving standing, I don't know if it's explicit in the order or not. If they're giving standing as a female, then they're a female in the eyes of the law, and that would create a problem. That would be a legal basis to send it up to different courts. It won't go straight to the Supreme Court. It would go to the next court. They would find some court that would, if they can. I don't know if they can or not. Whoever they are, that would be their argument, is that they are identifying. They are not, that's who they are. And right. So I just think there's a legal, I get it, man. I get it. I just think there's legal challenges ahead because there are courts out there that will be friendly to this, to fight against it. Whether that be successful or not, that's another matter.
Right.
And that's just that long fight that's ahead. I mean, they're not going to lay down and roll over. Let me just put it that way. They're not going to lay down and roll over. This is the first salvo. The president has put them on notice. He's made an executive order, and then we'll just see what the legal challenges are. There's going to be legal challenges on several things. There was an article in AL.com that there will be legal challenges to the firing of some inspectors. There's a rather long article in there that I didn't get to read all of it, where that they say it is illegal that he cannot do what he did, that the law is pretty clear in the firing of those postmasters or whatever they are, but that nobody seems to be doing anything about it. There'll be a legal challenge that Congress should act. You can go to AL.com and read that. That's Alabama news for folks that don't know, AL.com. Right. And there's an article there. These are articles that, I mean, they're out there. So that then you have the, Mr. Senator Green or whatever he is that stood up and he made his grand proclamation with his walking stick that he was going to, impeach the president and for his dastardly deeds, dastardly ways and all that stuff. Um, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, for today, it's wonderful.
Yes. And
But tomorrow,
right now,
as Kamala would say, tomorrow is tomorrow, as today is tomorrow, and we'll see. Which I want to see the whole CBS interview that they've been forced to release, where they took out all the worst of the worst stuff that she said in that interview. I want to watch that now and see the whole thing unedited. If it was bad enough that CBS took it out, it had to be pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's all the hand wringing and the gnashing of teeth from all the Democrats. What is this unelected person named Elon Musk doing up there, cutting out government agencies and all this other stuff, not going before Congress and all this horse hockey? He's not cutting nothing. Donald Trump's cutting it. He's just making recommendations.
Well, he's an appointed position. He doesn't have to be elected.
And also, he's doing it for free. They're not paying him.
Well, it wouldn't matter if they wasn't appointed positions. There are certain positions that don't have to be go through the nomination process, the vetting as they call it, and that was one of them. And so he's allowed those, and so he's within his. I mean, they're not doing anything wrong. They just don't like what they're doing and what they're looking for, what they found and the fraud that has occurred, the absolute fraud that has occurred. There's some people probably going to jail. I would hope. I do hope.
And they're taking up for them, but they're not mentioning the fraud. They're not even bringing that up. 20 million to make a Sesame Street thing in Iraq.
What Democrats do is repeat the lie over and over and over again. What have they already said about him? What have they already said he is? What did they say he was or is?
Yeah. They've been hollering Nazi from day one.
That's it. They're going to keep pounding on that he is, and that this is, and they'll keep saying that this is a, that the whole administration is just another third, the Third Reich and all that. I mean, that's what they do. They go for the, they just sling the accusations and stuff. And there's going to be a lot of people that's, going to buy into that and fly with it. So, like I said, it's pretty incredible, the journey of what he's already accomplished and what he's working on accomplishing. But I really believe, there's just some rocky roads ahead. I mean, it's they're going to pull everything out of the toolkit they have. So I would just I say, strap in and hang on, because there's things going to be coming. But he's doing some really good things. Of course, today was the news that he made the comments about, taking over Gaza, and now they're wanting to say his own staff was caught off guard and they was trying to correct him on it and blah, 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 blah. There was a lot of debate. People said, hey, I've trusted him so far, I'm trusting him now. What could he do here? But it's not, but others say it's not America first. What are we doing there? He says he won't put boots on the ground, That's a whole other subject. But he is hitting so many things, he can't just focus on one thing. So we are in the era. I mean, it's always been that way, but executive action is every new administration, new executive action. So now I think they're going to try to codify some of this stuff so they can't just be undone with another executive action in a future administration. But I don't know they could do all of them like that. It's a huge battle. I would not want my granddaughters on a team that had that kind of crapola going on. I just try to look at the bigger picture. I'm for it. I'm for the executive action. Something had to be done. But I think we're probably headed for some. And then you're gonna hear. I mean, that's why they were pushing. They knew this was coming. That's why you were hearing about before the election. They hate Clarence Thomas. They've always hated him. They absolutely hate that man. And they've tried any way in the world to, mock him, to put him down, to his wife. They've attacked her. They want him out of the way. And they've so wanted another 4 years because they believe, I think because he's had some issues, that maybe he would be replaced during that time. I would say you'll probably hear Pack the Court will be brought back up at some point. but it won't be during this 4 years. But that'll be they'll try to do that again.
Oh,
Because they only want to listen to the court when the court rules in their favor.
right. That's it.
But when the court doesn't rule in their favor, then they're all about term limits, packing the court, that some people's went past their prime. They can't think clearly. Obviously, they're compromised. They're mentally decrepit. It's funny they would say that about the Supreme Court, but not Joe Biden until they were done with him.
Yeah. And they couldn't say nothing but how decrepit he was.
Yeah. But President Trump, it's truly amazing. I mean, just in a few short days, all that has been done or is being attempted to be done, and how much more will be done that's not even been gotten to yet.
Well, one of the biggest things that Doge, or not Doge, but ASAID or whatever, USAID sent over there to help, spent their money on, was during the height of the war in Afghanistan. They sent millions of dollars to help them grow crops other than opium. Millions and millions. The result, they went over and taught them how to grow opium better, because the opium poppy cultivation across the country has almost doubled. They went over and taught them how to grow it better.
Where at? Yeah, and if you talk to soldiers that were on the ground, I know this is not popular to hear, but they supported it because they lost the war. The chieftains, the ones who led the tribes and stuff, because they cut out their crop, they cut out their way to make money, and honestly, they wanted their support on their side to be able to get intel on, and get their help and assistance. And I've talked to many soldiers that served over there, and they were like, it's something we had to do. I mean, we had I'm not saying there's not government corruption been involved, but for the soldiers on the ground, they said it was vital that they be able to have their crop, and that it caused a lot of problems for them on the ground.
Well, what they do in their country is their business. As long as they're not sitting here, that's their business.
We should have never been in that country. I mean, I just really believe that. I was all for the bombing of the camps and stuff like that, but boots on the ground was ugly. What did we accomplish?
Nothing.
What did we really accomplish?
Not
unfortunately, a lot of body bags came back. It's we'll watch my words here, but it's not a. Afghanistan is a whole that every government that's tried to concern themselves with it have not done well. It's
right.
Did they do some things to help, like building schools and stuff? Yes, but as soon as we were gone, all that was going to be destroyed anyway. The people in prison, the Taliban's in power, and people, they're looking for the ones who. They're actively looking for the ones who worked with us, translators and all, that we wouldn't get out. I know a man who's been trying to get his translator out, and he can't get no help. This guy's in fear for his life, and he's hiding out, keeps moving locations. It's a sad deal. This guy saved his life more than once with intel and stuff to help him know that things were going to happen. But his family's in danger. That's the way we left him. But we just created a big mess. And like I said, a lot of body bags coming back. What a mess. What a horrible, horrible thing. I guess you could say we killed a lot of terrorists, but they just feel they just keep having babies and building more, I guess you could say. It's a very backward culture. Very backward. And I can't even imagine the PTSD of some of those soldiers, of what they had to witness for the little, and I'm not going to say the words, but we know what was going on with the boys, and it's a part of that culture. And of course, the one Marine was pardoned by President Trump, I believe it was, for things that he did and taking actions against that. He said he just couldn't take it no more. But what a mess! What an absolute mess!
And you know, the withdrawal from there could not have been handled worse.
No, it was horrible. It was supposed to be a celebration of them. You know, we were leaving. I mean, even President Trump said we were going to leave, but the leaving was supposed to be staged. We weren't going to leave the equipment, and we were not going to turn over a couple of those bases to them. We were going to keep hold of them. I mean,
Yeah.
you just built them a multi-million-dollar air base and gave it to them on a silver platter. And gave them the equipment to fly off of it. And I talked to again a couple of guys, and let me just say this because I don't know everything about it because I wasn't there, and I don't want to suggest I was. I'm going on things that I've talked to people about, and just things I've read. But I will say that I've been told, even though it's a very backward, very you know, he said, make no mistake about it, the Afghans are excellent at building their own parts for these things. They were already doing it. They very.
Oh, yeah.
It may be backward to us. It may look horrible and all that. But he said they can, because I said, well, all this equipment that we've left, they won't, when they run out of parts, you know, they won't be no good to them. And he said they'll have parts. They'll make their own. They're really good at that. Now, like I said, the standard is probably people dying trying to make the parts. But he said no, actually, they were really good at it. You know, and he was in the Marines, and he's the one that told me that. 10-year vet
Yeah.
who had to sadly leave because of medical, but I know him well, and he told me that.
All right. Well, I mean, that whole withdrawal there was that right there. He should have been brought up on charges. Biden should have been. If he was going to be impeached over something, it should have been over that Afghan withdrawal. There has never been, and General Tilley or whatever, there has never been a worse handled withdrawal ever. I don't think.
Well, I would say pretty close to it was Vietnam. That was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Same kind of
Yeah.
thing. Same kind of thing. A lot of equipment left, and you know. But you know, actually, this is a whole nother level to it too. I mean, for me and you, even President Trump talked about it. But when you talk to military people say that's a plan. You know, you leave it, you don't want to bring it back, you just make more, you buy more. But I disagreed with Apaches and stuff that they could use. He said it's pretty common. They're not going to truck all that back home. They're not going to do it. They're going to destroy intel and stuff, and they're going to leave that there. And you know, he said after it's been in all that sand and everything, it's really, you know, it wouldn't be worth it for them to bring it back.
So destroy it. I mean, you know,
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said. Why didn't we just destroy it?
I destroyed those bases too.
So I never understood that. But I can get what, you know, from the military mind standpoint of just, you know, I don't want to bring all that back. It's, you know, damaged goods, a lot of it. They fighting to keep the stuff flying and running and everything themselves. But I would have destroyed the best stuff, you know.
Yeah, target practice, dude.
Some of it they destroyed their own. Some of those pilots, they crashed out. They might have been good at making parts for it, but they didn't know how to fly them real well. There's been more than one video of an Apache that went straight down, nose dive to the ground.
You know, I wonder if some of that might have been done on purpose, sabotage and stuff like that.
Who knows? Who knows?
You're gonna be flying my Apache? Here, just take this little nut off right here. That'll make it interesting for you.
I want to switch gears just for a second and make an announcement here that I mentioned the other day. Today was the opening statements. They got the jury seated, and today was the first full day of opening statements in the murder trial for Megan Boswell, who killed her daughter. Or that's the charge, that she killed her daughter. Up in Tennessee, Sullivan County. This is a big case. This thing's been clocking on for years now, like 5 years, or I think 5 years. March would have officially, I think, been 5 years. But that trial finally got started today. So they anticipate this trial will last 3 weeks, and they will hear a case every day, including Saturday. They won't be on there on Sunday, and then they said it'll take 3 weeks to get get the case to the jury. So anyway, hopefully justice for this young girl. It was a case that was out there for a while. The child was missing. They brought her in for questioning. She lied on camera, and there's a lot of parts to it from the grandmother, the grandfather, other people. It'll all come out, but there's a lot of that poor child. It's just horrible, horrible. But we'll be updating this trial a little bit along the way because it's one that I followed quite a bit. I've read so much on that thing. I'm even members of some of the groups and stuff. I haven't been in them in a while because there was just nothing to really report for a long time. But there was tons of groups that got set up on Facebook and others where people were talking about the case and people from the area. But anyway, that little girl is a horrible case. She's in the arms of Jesus, but it was horrible what happened to her, and hopefully justice is served. I believe that from the evidence and everything I've seen, I mean, the mom's not trustworthy, and she was caught in so many lies and stuff. There's quite a bit of evidence, so we'll just have to let that play out.
Right.
But some of our listeners may be familiar with that case. She is charged with first-degree murder, two counts of felony murder, aggravated child abuse, aggravated child neglect, tampering with evidence, 11 counts of false report, abuse of a corpse, and failure to report a death under suspicious, unusual, or unnatural circumstances. Those are the charges in the case.
Wow. Well, I hope that justice is served there. That's
Evelyn Boswell would be about 6 years old if she were alive today in this world.
Wow.
The accusation is that she wanted to be with a guy, sad, similar story. And I don't know if she didn't feel like he would like the kid, or maybe I don't know. Just that's the thing. Just got rid of the child. That's the allegation. Howdy, Rude. How you doing tonight, brother? Man, good to see you. Rude Poodle. I've known some rude poodles.
I have too.
I've known some good ones too. That weren't rude.
I don't think I have. I think everyone I've seen has been a little yappy, mean little fuzzy, need to be shaved and taught to walk backwards dog. I'm not a big fan of poodles. Now, those of you who are fans of poodles, God bless you. Rude is tired tonight. Rude Poodle is.
Understand. I've been going at it all day, and I don't know. Being in class, I love the class, but it just wears you out to be in a class. That's all I can say.
Well, so Pam Bondi got her confirmation set. She's in there. And according to Fox News, she has went ahead and started out a whole bunch of stuff on her first day leading the Justice Department. Let's see. This is what they've got so far. She issued a directive regarding zealous advocacy. She said that DOJ attorneys' responsibilities include aggressively enforcing criminal laws passed by Congress, but also vigorously defending presidential policies on behalf of the United States against legal challenges. The discretion afforded the Justice Department attorneys with respect to those responsibilities does not include latitude to substitute their personal political views or judgments for those that prevailed in the election. What do you think of that? Quit. And
What's
think
Chuck
about
doing?
that. And he's attacking my feet and the back of my desk and everything. He's being annoying tonight. He's being a snot. I'm waiting for him to try to start biting me again. Said the discretion afforded the Justice Department attorneys with respect to those responsibilities do not include latitude to substitute their personal political views or judgment. And that's the way it should be. We didn't elect them. We elected the president and stuff like that. We're interested in his views, the person that we elected, not somebody coming in and undermining him every way they can. The memorandum continues, when Justice Department attorneys refuse to faithfully carry out their role by, for example, refusing to advance good faith arguments or declining to sign briefs, it undermines the constitutional order and deprives the president of the benefits of his lawyers. Imagine that. What? They're supposed to be working for the president? You're kidding me. The memo continues on. Any Justice Department attorney who declines to sign a brief, refuses to advance good faith arguments on behalf of the Trump administration, or otherwise delays or impedes the Justice Department's mission will be subject to discipline and potentially termination. Now, how big is that? That's big, dude. So,
Go administration.
yeah. I mean, they're supposed to be battling for him. So, dude, I'm trying to hang in here tonight. My back and stuff is killing me.
What'd you
I don't
do?
know how much longer I got. I had a seizure.
Did Chuck jump on you?
No, I wish.
Give you the 1-2?
I could take it better from Chuck than I could the rest of everything right now. I'm trying to hang in. I'm not feeling it. I'm hurting pretty stinking bad. I think I am going to go take something a little bit stronger, and I'm going to get on my heated pad. I think it's killing me sitting here.
Okay.
Well, guys, I'm sorry. I tried tonight. I'm trying. But I love all you guys out there. Y'all have a good night. Leaving y'all in good hands. Dave's here with you. And I will see y'all Wednesday morning, if not, what is today? Or Friday morning, if not at some time tomorrow. All right. Love everybody out there. God bless you. And I will see y'all next time.
Take care, man. Pray for Cowboy Cook as well. He's been sick. His maybe had a flu or what do you say, pneumonia and flu, and we've just been struggling the last 3 weeks or so. A lot of sickness, a lot of not feeling well. Y'all pray for Rob. Changing weather probably doesn't help as much. Anyway, I think that's my problem. The change of the allergies have kicked in. I'm better now, but last night I was not feeling well. So y'all keep them in your prayers. I was looking at this story about the resettlement of the Gazans, and I would like to hear a little bit more about the. I would like to hear a little bit more about the plan, but I wish they had waited before they kind of rolled this out, because it gives. There's a lot of people weighing in, including the Palestinians themselves. there are options there, but they've got to do something. But I wish they had just kind of released that with a little bit of a plan. But they have to do something. There's not enough homes for anybody, and everything's in bad shape. There was talk about Jordan taking in some of the Hashemite kingdom there, where a lot of Palestinians live. And I think but the Jordanians may not be willing to do that. There are a couple of countries that are willing to take some of them. But there's others who said they're not moving. So it's kind of a push-pull between the two, and I really wonder what's going to happen with that. We'll just have to wait and see. That's an interesting one. I'm not judging them. I wish we'd had more information. I think he just threw it out there to get the conversation going, and I'm sure there's something else that's going to be released. But it was, I'm hearing from everybody else. I'd like to hear more. Of course, it's timed with Bibi Netanyahu being in Washington and everything. But this is a man. You're talking about a landmine, so to speak. We got a lot working, and I don't know that we need to be taking the lead on that. Wow. I mean, of all the things he's thrown out there, that one was, I didn't see that one coming. I honestly didn't. What I thought they would do is play mediator between the two, and sort of it did work to an effect that they did get some hostage released, and they did get somewhat of a ceasefire going. And he's right that it's not livable. I mean, there are thousands of people displaced, so they've got to do something. They're going to have to set up some sort of a refugee area for them. But here's the thing, and of course, there were calls for 2 million coming, to open up the United States. They're not going to do that. But what a mess that is, and you just feel for that. That is the one that cuts you. Every time you deal with the Middle East, that's the one that gets you. So, but he said you can't live in Gaza right now. So, and I don't think that there's appropriate room in the West Bank, even if you are going to move them. They don't have the housing there because pretty much the housing is all taken. I mean, not for that many people. You might have a handful, but there is no way they have enough room to. And how would you move them there? I just can't even imagine it. The easiest way would have them go into Egypt and Saudi Arabia and like that way. But if they won't do it, I don't know what you do. Can you imagine trying to airlift all these people somewhere? And how do you do that? And how do you not get killed doing it? I don't know. That's a strange one. I get it, the timing with BB being in the capital, but I wonder about what is what's going on with that. So anyway, it's never a dull day. That's never a dull day. The Mexico has deployed the first of the 10,000 National Guardsmen to the U.S. border. Good news. And hopefully we can get some of our troops on the other side and hopefully lock this thing down better. Scott Turner confirmed as the HUD secretary. That's good. Getting more of the offices filled up, as Rob mentioned, Pam Bondi. There's still a handful, and RFK Jr., which he passed one of the committees or out of committee, and so hopefully that will pass. And then there's a couple of more, Kash Patel. But things are moving at lightning speed, and you really can't it's hard to even keep up with. There's so much information that's being shared across the news wires. It is absolutely amazing. I've never seen this much. Right now, you couldn't cover all the news that's coming out of the Middle East, much less all the other places and what's going on in the United States. It's got to be really taxing the news orgs to even cover all of it. They're moving so fast with all of it. It's absolutely crazy. I've just never seen nothing like that. And news always is moving pretty hot and heavy. Nothing like this though. Pretty amazing. So, Transportation Secretary said that DOGE will to upgrade air travel. You've got we got articles about sanctuary cities. We've got articles about the trans order, which he mentioned. They will not allow, as part of this, Olympic athletes, trans athletes to come into the nation. That's another one. Then, of course, the ban here, what that would mean within our country. Wow, just amazing. IRS workers involved in 2025 tax season can't take buyout offer until May. Obviously involved with doing taxes. And before you know it, a tax deadline will be up. So I would want to get that done, as most people really do, but I would not delay in getting taxes done. We don't know what's going to happen as it gets closer to the deadline of tax season. I would get on that pretty quick. And here's our boy Fetterman in a Newsmax article. I fully support U.S. troops in Gaza. But Democrats have got to hate this guy right now, that he says stuff like that. Fully, not maybe, fully supports. He said it should be considered that he would fully support. Wow. Oh, wow. Amazing. I wonder if he got a phone call before all this was released asking his opinion. He said it's a provocative part of the conversation, but it's part of the conversation. That's where we are. Quote, the Palestinians have refused or they've been unwilling to deliver a government that provided security and economic development for themselves. They've allowed 10/7, their disaster over there, the evil day, to occur. Now Gaza has to be rebuilt. Where are the people going to live? Where are they going to go? So it's a part of the conversation with where they're at right now. That one, I didn't expect him to say that he fully supports. But again, he's been leaning more middle to the right than he has ever. It's amazing. It's almost like God, with his illness, let him get in as a Democrat. Now that he's in there, and it's all coming back to him. Now he's becoming more of a conservative. Not that he is conservative, but he's leaning that way on a lot of issues. And it's truly amazing. We've never seen nothing like that either. And as he says that, he's of course not in the suit and tie. He goes to the beat of his own drum. Fetterman. What a mess. Oh, my goodness. Well, the weather was great today. We are getting some rain, I think, tonight in our area. Potential for storms, high winds. So I believe, and hopefully the folks are back home. They should be by now, well with it home that were traveling today from our class. They had to travel a few hours back home. So that I'm glad they got home. But we have had some rain, and hopefully it won't be too bad. But weather was absolutely wonderful today to come out. And it was just, it's T-shirt weather, just wonderful. And I know we were talking today, and I bet within March, we're going to get cold temperatures again and possibility for snow. You just kind of feel like that's one of those type of years. I don't know, but wherever you are, I hope that, there is some falling temperatures, but nothing like what we had. But I think by Friday, the temperatures are going to kind of fall down a little bit. So, stay well. Don't get sick. Things will start blooming, and then things will get cold again. There's no way we're not going to go back to another. I just can't believe that we're not going to see some, in our area anyway, that we're not going to see some really cold temperatures. I seen an article too, and one of the Proud Boys, J6's Proud Boys, says he's kind of, one of them that's came out, he wants to set the record straight. That'll be something I would like to cover soon, as he really sets the record straight about him and what he endured. That's going to be one of the stories of 2025, is the treatment of the J6ers as they get out and they fully begin to get those stories out of just what happened. We're going to find out who the bad people were in these institutions, because it's going to be a common theme. We already know, even the senators that went up there and finally got rights to see him, many of them, they already knew that. But that's going to be, I would say, there's going to be documentaries and possibly even movies made about the treatment and what went on in those lockups. The denial of hygiene, the denial of religious services, the denial of communication with lawyers, and more like that. I think you'll see a lot of that. And we're just going to find out how evil a lot of this stuff was. The stories have already been out there. Some of the J6ers, when they were able to get to an outside line, I've listened to podcasts where they called in and told some of the stuff that was going on. So it's not that it wasn't there, but I think you'll hear more voices about it because not everybody was able to get their voice out there in the news or in the podcast world or wherever. I was thinking of podcast, and I was thinking of Tucker, and Zelensky today called him a plant for Putin. He didn't like that he went over there and talked to him. I mean, I feel like this guy, switching a little bit, going to Ukraine, I feel like this guy's on his last legs as a leader. I just feel like that Zelensky is going to end up being deposed off of that spot so that they can get this situation better. Putin did respond to Zelensky's call that wanting talks. He called it empty words. An article from another website, a news org rather, that Putin was trying to drag Belarus into the war, according to Zelensky. Of course, Belarus he's a little puppet master for Putin, but he's always kind of been involved anyway. He's allowed troops to attack, I think, from his region and also have Russian troops there and aircraft. And so he's not invaded with his own troops, but there's a possibility there. I wouldn't say that's out of the realm of possibility because the Russians have struggled to keep their numbers up there. And we talked about this morning these wounded soldiers that are being sent back in the line of battle for the Russians, many of them on crutches. Yeah, Zelensky calls for Tucker. This is from the Independent. Zelensky calls for Tucker Carlson to stop licking Putin's, we'll say, rear end. That's not what he said. So he's running that mouth a little bit now. The money's getting cut off, and he's not happy about it. So we'll see. I don't know what the president's full plan there is. Zelensky does put, this was yesterday in the Jerusalem Post, he puts and I've heard this number before, he puts the Russian casualties at 350,000, with over 600,000 injured since the start of the war. That's almost 1 million, counting casualties and deaths of Russian soldiers. That's incredible. Incredible. Now, the Ukrainians wouldn't have that much because they didn't have as many to put into line of battle, but they have a lot too. Probably, I don't know, 300,000, over 300,000, 350,000, something like that, is numbers that I've heard. But can you imagine being a Russian citizen and your son or sons has been sent off to war? I mean, you're planning funerals. You're thinking they're not going to make it back. And a lot of them have. They say the saddest thing is every day there are Russian planes that land back into the country with body bags. I mean, and the ambulances and the hearses and everything that roll up to pick up these soldiers, and the people gathered, kind of reminiscent of the scene in Gone with the Wind where they were reading off all the names of the dead, and you're sitting there waiting to see if it's your son that has came back. That's horrible. I mean, I hate that it's going on. I'm not defending Russians' activities here. I just, any mother doesn't want their son being involved in some just a cannon fodder. That's what it is, just cannon fodder. They've just thrown these people out there. So interesting that he thinks that they're trying to pull Belarus into the battle. I would say that Belarus probably wants to be in the battle. I think this guy's a war hawk, the leader of Belarus, and I think he probably would welcome that. But don't know enough about him. But he just always seemed to be sort of chomping at the bit and get involved in this thing. So we'll see. There's a quote from there was a meeting between British Foreign Secretary David Lammy and the head of the Ukrainian state announced that after this meeting, this was a quote, with Putin's ambitions and what we see today is he is doing everything not to stop this war. The fact is that he will go further. He will eye other countries. I'm positive. I warn of this absolutely, overtly, frankly. You will see he will provoke other countries. Perhaps the next one will be Poland or the Baltic states. And this isn't just another part of the rhetoric. You will see in spring, summer, or autumn, he will deploy forces on the territory of Belarus. And many Europeans, perhaps the United States, will say this is intimidation of Poland, Lithuania, and other Baltic partners. But you will see that he will do everything to engage them. Think about how to provoke them. I don't know whether there will be an invasion, but in any case, he will drag Belarus into the war. This way, Zelensky said. This is from Zelensky. I really don't buy into. I think he's throwing things out there to see what'll stick because he's trying to get support again. I'm not saying it's out of the possibility because Belarus has been involved really in lots of ways, but the provoking of some of those Poland and stuff. There's been some wordsmithing going back between between Poland and Lithuania and others. I mentioned this the other day, and I kind of wish they would clamp that down. It's almost like they're begging to get in part. Poland has been spending a lot of money on its military. It's been building up, but they're not ready to face a Russia. I mean, come on. He added that in his opinion, Zelensky was, after Ukraine was attacked with missiles from the territory of Belarus, this country was already at war. So, I in defense of him, I would say I see that. But again, there's been no concentrated effort for them to be involved in the war. There may have been some things like that, but it was. But I get it. Their people know in their army not yet, but Putin really wanted that. And therefore, I believe everything must be done to stop him. So, Belarus is testing combat readiness of certain units, but this poses no threat to Ukraine, as per the spokesman for the State Border Guard Service, Andriy Demchenko. So, this long into the war, there's been no evidence that Belarus is. He's more than happy to support his buddy, and I mean, he gets a lot of benefit from the Russians. But if he was going to invade, I would think he would have already done that. So we'll see. By the way, quick facts: Zelensky is 47 years old. He was born January 25th, 1978. He's, of course, his wife, which we have seen, Alina Zelenska, married in 2003, and they have a child. I'm trying to look at, he was educated at the Economic Institute from 95 to 2000, the gymnasium, number 95, 85 to 95. What in the world? I guess that's just another word for their school. And the National Economic University. Of course, he was an actor, and we know that. He is 5'7". That's why we call him the little dictator. He has been the president since 2019 and been at war not too long after that, seemingly. So I'm not saying, there's a whole other discussion involved with that, but wow, what a mess. I mean, what an absolute mess. Nearly over 1 million soldiers together when you count both armies, between the casualties and between the dead, or the casualties and those who have been injured, over 1 million. Just total, I mean, and they are gaining land. I mean, they have gained land as they've moved closer to into the country. They've certainly, and they've destroyed dozens and dozens of cities. But the battle is artillery and bullets, and there's really no. I mean, the drones, those things. That's really what it's ground down to. So. And yes, the Russians are still hitting civilian areas, apartment buildings, hospitals. Of course, has continued to attack the energy, which is common in war. But they do attack on purpose. It's obvious, civilian areas. And there were some that were killed recently in an attack on an apartment building. And I believe that might have been I don't know if that was Kyiv. It might have been one of the other major cities, but I remember reading that. So. We'll see. I don't know. I think of the when you do like the president, all the things he wants to do, and this is definitely near the top because it's got to be important to get that stopped. All the stuff as far as foreign policy, Middle East, the Russian-Ukraine war definitely, and in China. I mean, and I guess as a fourth you'd put North Korea and just making sure things, and of course the trade. Those are all the foreign stuff, and then internally all the stuff that we hear every single day. Much more going on there, but he definitely has to deal with the foreign diplomacy is going to be a major part of this, and he's got to he does have to get the Middle East under control somewhat. So we'll see. We will see. Further investigations ongoing. There seems to be in the crash in D.C. that. The military helicopter did, and you could see that in the videos. I mean, there was that one video, and it's very obvious Well, first of all, that they say that they were flying too high. Of course, they've not given a conclusion yet, but things that they have studied, it seems as though there was a move of the helicopter upward nearing the plane. And so that's where they'll be looking. They've got to recover all the military parts, black whatever they call theirs, and the craft itself to look at those things. But that seems to be where this is at and where it's going. Continued prayers for those folks as they grieve the loss of 69 total people, I think, or something like that, 70 or so. Tonight in fact, in 5 minutes on, you can watch a replay if you want to watch it now. Bibi Netanyahu will be on Hannity at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's a pretty big get for him to get Bibi on there. Bibi's well-spoken. A lot of people, they call him a war criminal and they hate his guts and, they want him in jail. And he is well-spoken. He has always been, he speaks English very well. He understands the art of negotiation, the art of diplomacy. He understands the role. He definitely makes strong appeals to the conservative, to the Christian bloc in the United States. He understands how to do that very well. He's very well spoken, and whether you agree with him or not, he's a great communicator. He really is. And he is their version of Donald J. Trump, honestly. That's what they call him. He's like, but in certain ways, because of his ability to negotiate deals and his strong stances, and he puts his foot down on stuff, and he doesn't bend. A lot of people kind of describe him that way, and certainly he has been prime minister at times when there has been great times of attack. And if you go back and look in the history of their family, of course his brother was the only one to die in the raid on Entebbe. Unfortunately, that's an amazing story. I know you probably watched the movie. There's a good book out about his brother that really goes into detail about all the, movies are movies, and they can't give you the depth and the details. But when you go back and look at how close that mission never even came close to happening, and all the work that they put in to pull that off, truly amazing. And he was obviously the leader in that. He was the first into going in the airport, and I don't know what you call it, lucky shot. I don't know. Nobody else was killed. They took them all out. It was a completely successful mission. And unfortunately, sometimes, freedom has a cost. I have a sticker I got from the page, one of the Patriot groups. I have it. I just put it up today. Freedom isn't free, and sometimes the cost is life. And I think his name was Jonathan, if I remember right. And unfortunately, he was killed at first in. But they absolutely, and it's truly amazing. If you remember the story, they made them they made the people think that their leader was coming in on the plane. They mocked up everything that was what he would look like to do that. So, we're about an hour in. Let me take a quick break, and y'all pray for Rob. Unusual for either of us to leave it alive, but he was squirming there, and he told me he was laying on a heating pad. And I'd already forgot he told me he had a seizure today. So I think he hit his back pretty hard. So y'all pray for him. That's very, very tough. But we'll be right back. Hey, folks, Dave in the AM here with the Southern Fried Podcast and the Cornbread Nation. For many weeks now, me and Rob have been telling you about our affiliation with Dubby Energy Drinks. I've been drinking some of them on the show, and I just got in today the powdered version, and this is the Pon Blom version of this. And hey, I tell you that it gives you the focus and the energy without the jitters or the crash. There's no sugars, no fillers, no artificial dyes. So get you some Dubby today. Use the promo code Southern Fried, and you'll get 10% off each and every order. Not only can you get the energy drinks, but you can also get some cool merch items. In fact, soon we're going to have a hat to show you as an example of some of those things. There's shirts and other things you can get as well as containers to mix up the powder and the water into that you can carry with you. We appreciate your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and also of Dubby Energy Drinks. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Hey, this is David the AM with the Southern Fried Podcast. We are now an affiliate of Podbean. Podbean is an audio platform which helps you get your voice out there. You can go online and go live from your very phone that you use. You don't have to have a lot of special equipment. It's nice to have a studio, but it's expensive. You can do those things from your phone. Hey, I was a listener of Podbean before I even became a podcaster. Maybe you've thought about being one. There was a time when I didn't think about being a podcaster, but think about it. You've got things to share. It could be as simple as baking, or it could be working on a car. The stories are endless that you could come up with to be a podcaster. And there are people out there that want to listen and to your stories and to your shows. And we're thankful for all those that watch and listen to us. Podbean is now an affiliate of the Southern Fried Podcast. Unless you're a business plan, that would be the bottom one. The one on top, use that. You'll get discounts. And also the Southern Fried Podcast benefits in this as well. I love Podbean. They also help launch out to many other audio sites. This saves me time. Time is precious. Time to be on the podcast. Time for research. Time to be with family. And yes, time to work. Yes, we still work out there in the workforce. So become a podcaster. Use Podbean. And when you use these links, one of them, you will save money and you'll also help the Southern Fried Podcast. Thanks so much for all your support. Take care. We'll see you soon. Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, one of the blessed things we've been able to do is partner with the wonderful people at Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. These folks are a no-kill shelter in Donaldsonville, Georgia. You see the contact info on the screen. And these folks would love to have you come adopt a dog or a cat. They have folks that come from all over the United States, not just the state of Georgia. They're great folks. It's been a wonderful partnership between Southern Fried Podcast and ARA. And we've been blessed to meet some of the folks that have adopted animals from ARA. Also, we've been able to encourage people to donate and volunteer. They encourage volunteers that are in the area, and they're just wonderful people. We'd love for you to contact them, meet them too, go on their website, see some of the animals, and we know you'll want to partner with them too by taking a dog or a cat to their forever home. Join with us, the Southern Fried Podcast, in support of this great work of the Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. We know you'll be happy you did. I know we are. All right, folks. Well, a little bit longer break, but I didn't want to get ARA in, and I had some people stop by the studio, and they didn't want to go on camera. They were letting me see one of the little kiddos, and so enjoyed that. So I got to see some grandchildren and my son, and so they skedaddled when I said it was time to go live again. So they're like, "Oh no, we're not going to do that." It really panics some people to be on live on the air, or to be recorded even. That's okay. I get it. But I've always welcome them in. They can do things. I've been able to get the grandkids to do a few things when you talk about being on camera and stuff. Mostly recorded, very little live, but they have jumped in there and waved before. But it is a fear, and that's something they don't like to do. Hey, do visit ARA. We've got to get back at our Pets of the Week. That's something that we've not had recently, and we've had great interviews. Those interviews have been well received. A lot of animals have been adopted, but there is a need there for Animal Rescue Alliance in Donaldsonville, Georgia. Go online and give them help if you can. Of course, McCamey in the Chattanooga area, if you're in my area, and we do highlight animals from there too. We're going to get back on those this weekend. Our veterans, we've been that's something we want to stay after, but we sometimes find in those slots. And if you have a veteran that you would like to have honored on the podcast, and let us know. Get us the information. If you got a picture, what branch of service, any information you can give us. They could be just that they served. They could be, KIA, MIA. I mean, there's whatever it is. We want to honor those veterans. And if you want to honor active service, let us know. We definitely want to do that. That's part of what we do. And we'll honor the pets as well. Also, I probably need to be announcing. We're going to start this next week. If you have a birthday you'd like to recognize for one of your kiddos or something, we sent out. We kind of did a test run. We had a young fella that was he didn't get no mail in. There's somebody that follows our podcast, and he wanted some mail, so we sent him a Christmas card. He got the biggest kick out of that. We weren't the only ones that did it, but we were part of the group. And I said, we're going to start doing birthdays and stuff. So send those to us. Anniversaries, birthdays. We've always got a space in our podcast for stuff like that. And I like that human touch. That's pretty cool. So, honor your parents, honor your spouse, honor your kiddos. It doesn't matter to me. Some great accomplishment. What news is news, and we like to cover. That's the human element that we like to cover here. And we just need the information sent to us. If we don't have it, we don't know it. So if sometimes we hear about it, we'll throw a, hey, happy birthday out there to people. And we have even sung happy birthday before to someone and sent it to them. It was bad. It was the worst singing ever. I mean, it was bad, but we did it. So we're willing to do it. You probably don't want to sing it, but we'll give you a shout out for your birthday, anniversary, or something like that. Whoops. Get that earpiece back in. But yeah, let's get back at it and continue on. And don't forget the Cornbread Nation show. That's one thing we still run that. It says coming soon. It's here, right? It's like that promo or that commercial. And Cornbread Nation tomorrow night. Rob was feeling so bad he forgot about tomorrow night's live. So I pray that he's ready, because that's a live very different show. I'm sure he'll be back. And we have an interview, I think, scheduled for tomorrow as well, that will happen right before we go live. We'll work out the details on that. So we've got a very special interview coming up. We love our interviews. This is probably going to be more handled by Rob. It's folks that he knows. I've never met them. And so I will probably more him and those, but I'll be around and helping out a little bit behind the scenes, possibly just making sure everything, we're going to record it though. It's not live, but just making sure everything looks good. And getting that up, because we're going to tie in a couple of things together. One interview we've done, this interview, and we've got some news coming. We're actually going to cross paths and cross pollinate some stuff that is going to be a real blessing. We've already set up some things behind the scenes, and we'll be announcing more about that very, very soon. That be some help to some people, and we want to get help to people that need it, and we're even going to facilitate that in a little way. It's something we're very proud of, and we're putting our resources where our mouths are, and we're gonna kick that off. We're gonna get that going. And I'm not bragging. I'm excited about it, because as we bounce ideas back and forth with each other all the time, and this one just came about really, really fast as we talked about things we could do, and it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. So. I did run into at my company, I'm a member of the Walker County Chamber of Commerce as an individual. We're not a business yet. We will be soon, and we'll transition that over. But she came by, and we'll be getting to some chamber events as well, Catoosa and Walker, and highlighting some more things going on in the area, and get some interviews as well. We've got some great things that are going up in this area. And Rob will be doing the same things in South Georgia. But if you've got something going on you'd like to get news about it, we don't care where it's at. It could be in Hawaii. I don't care. It's, somebody will listen. We got people all over the place, so we'll highlight it. Events or things like that. Those are cool things. Small business. We're definitely here to help. I haven't mentioned it lately, but we definitely want to be a help to small business. We have done that, and we will do more of that when we help. We love to help people. I was going to look and see. I think we still have the overlay up. Yes. While I'm saying that, if you're in the Decatur, Tennessee area, go to Miss Angie's Decatur Diner there. Wonderful people. We have highlighted them several times. We haven't mentioned them lately, but we like their menu every day. Every day. You're home cooking away from home. I promise you, I have been here many times, and they are wonderful, wonderful people. And I was going there before she even purchased it. So we're fans. That's that hometown restaurant, that local kind of thing. We love that. And also let me mention, I know we have it. I don't think we did it this morning. We got kind of busy with some stuff. But I want to highlight a vendor. Let me find it here. I want to highlight a vendor when we talk about Mammoth Nation. I'm a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation. Rob is a monthly supporter, and this Mammoth grip, and it's very reasonable, and you can get discounts by joining Mammoth Nation and going through their portal into the Mammoth Grip website, and there'll be automatic discounts that will occur. And there's more pictures. That's just showing some of the things. Don't you just hate carrying those bags, all them plastic bags? You can hold this thing, and it's sturdy. It's lifetime guaranteed, and you can carry all kinds of stuff, hangers or whatever. As I get older, I hate to admit it, but we get older. I definitely have a little arthritis in my hands. I can feel it, and I don't have the grip that I used to have. And so if I'm having to hold several things, that can be hard. Sometimes you drop stuff. You just don't have the grip they used to have. Well, I can hold on to that a lot better, and I'm a consumer of things that the Mammoth Nation puts out. I get their daily email as being a supporter. You can get that email too. You don't have to be a supporter. They'll send that to you too. They do great work on talking about things that are going on in the world today, in our nation. Big, they're pro America, pro military. And the companies that deal with them are the same. And I have purchased several things. I've got a couple things in the studio, I'm sure. Some things maybe in the house. But we highlight those things. But, matter of fact, Uncle Jeb, who he's in the studio. He's not talking tonight. Uncle Jeb is wearing a hat that came from one of the 1776. And as we purchase things from there. Of course, tomorrow Uncle Jeb will have a new Southern Fried 5 at 5. And I don't think Miss Elizabeth's probably in the bed. She's got to get up early. And I just loaded this. I loaded it a little bit different way, but we were saying this earlier, and there are a few people here, and you may not have seen this. I think I can get this to play. If not, we'll make it do, because I've not tested it. It'll look a little different. It's because it's off of a. I pulled this down after I had put a header on it. Let's see if it'll play.
Steve, when she finds out what you said, you're going to be wheezing, all right? Miss Elizabeth, Steve said,
What?
so 2% milk and store-bought cornbread then. All right, I guess I'll try it.
I still didn't hear you, Rob. I lost you.
He said, so
Dave said
2% milk.
2% milk.
Yes. He said, so 2% milk and store-bought cornbread then. I guess I'll try it.
Oh my gosh. Steve said that.
Steve said that. Celtic Blacksmith.
Steve. You might go to hell. No. Oh my heavens. Oh, that hurts my heart. No, Steve, no.
That will live in infamy here at the Southern Fried Podcast. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth and Steve, for the laughter. You both are awesome and great. And since we have pulled him into this discussion, and every time we do that, it also helps him. So let me throw the card up for Steve, the Celtic Blacksmith at Half Pine Forge, which I am a customer. And while I'm talking about this, I'm going to get the latest and greatest thing that I got from Steve. And because he said, I am looking for this to be shown on the podcast. And I told him we would do that tonight. I've not seen him in the live tonight. But while we have the card pulled up, sorry if my voice faded a little bit. I had to get up. And I hate Robert had to leave because I want him to see it. But he may be watching, or he'll watch tomorrow, and we'll do it as we go. But he has video, has 2 channels. He has the Half Pine Forge channel, has his videos that he's made as he works that blacksmith, forge and smithy and all that. But he also has the new channel, Half Pine Forge Live, and he's done his first live. He also has a channel on X. And so our good friend, well, he had made me, I've got some hooks that he made me, and I'm wearing the necklace. Then I'm going to order another one. My wife wants one for a friend. It's a little skull necklace, and that's cool. That's made right there on it. But the thing I really wanted was the old dinner bell. The old dinner bell that we have, and I've got to get this hanging up in the studio. Once I get everything positioned, we are ready to go. And Steve, it sounds great. So we were supposed to test that against Robert's Chinesium that hangs behind him and see the difference in sound. But this is great. He did a great job on this. You can see the twist and the different heats he put on it. I learn as I go, and of course the other thing that we use to hit it. I know that has an official word, but I can't think of it now. Steve, if you just happen to be around, say something. I'm sure he would already have said that after seeing that video. If he had, he's probably not here tonight. But thank you, brother, and thank you, Miss Elizabeth, even if you are not here. We want to thank you for a classic moment that we were not expecting. We were having a lot of talk. For those that don't know, we were talking about cornbread and milk and different things, and Steve began to kind of poke the bear a little bit, and she was in the vehicle and not hearing. Some of that was not being heard. That's why it had to be repeated. And what a classic. I mean, it's legend. It's absolute SFP legend. And that is sponsored by the Cornbread Nation, because it is absolutely a Cornbread Nation kind of thing. I do have loaded in. I'm not going to show it tonight because it must stay till tomorrow night. We have the video loaded up of Uncle Jeb's Southern Fried 5 at 5. Now, if you would like to be on the Southern Fried 5 at 5, you just let us know. We can send you 5 questions, or you can pick 5 that you want. Video yourself. Send that to us. Find a way that we can get a hold of that. Put it up in the cloud or something, and get that to us. We'll find a way. There's all kind of ways with technology today. We keep it around no more than 5 minutes. Try to be under 5 minutes, and most of these are going to run 2 to 3 minutes. And send us your video. We will air that out. You can become a part of the Cornbread Nation. We will be doing the man in the street. This is not just going to be, it's not going to be totally Uncle Jeb's spot, but he definitely enjoys it, and it's a lot of fun for him to do it. But he will continue to do those ongoing, and when we have guests, he will listen and probably make comments on the Southern Fried 5 at 5 that someone sends us. He has other spots that he may be doing in the future, and a new partner in crime that will be appearing soon, I promise. We will announce his name, and we will take a profile shot of the new friend of Uncle Jeb that's going to be making an appearance soon. And as we have friends joining the crew, we have new crew. I've got to update the closing card. We've had that thing for so long, and it's worked well when we remember to play it. And it names the crew on there. Of course, Chris is always an honorary crew member. Anytime he wants to come and be a part, he is welcome. But he is busy with lots of things of life, his own channel and doing things. But he has been, he is a Hall of Fame member of crew. But he's not someone who's active anymore. But that doesn't mean that couldn't change. And every once in a while, he'll still send us things. So he is in those credits. Well, we've got to add a couple of folks. We're going to have to add a couple of folks into the closing credits, and probably need to put them in. I need to redo the front end of it. And he is the reason we have the song that we have. So thank you, Chris. Don't know if you ever listen anymore, but we appreciate you. Every once in a while, he'll give us a like on Clapper. I know we don't go live to Clapper. Clapper's set up a little different. You can do lives within Clapper. I've only done one. Me and my granddaughter did. We did the audio, not the full video. But Clapper is we're going to cross over 4,000 followers on Clapper, and that one is growing very fast for us, and we appreciate that. Really, all the streams are growing, but some are just exploding, and we are humbled by that. We cannot thank everyone enough. For me and Rob was talking about this offline today on a phone call, and just that he didn't even hear my remarks from last night where I mentioned this, and he said the same thing, that we're humbled by it, and we truly are. It's not something we take for credit for or anything like that. We just thank you that you're here and you want to be a part, whether you ever say anything or not. I said that this morning. Whether you say anything or not, we see you. We know you're there, and it means the world to us. If it's one person, it means the world to us. We have met friends from all over the world. We've made friends all over the world. And it continues to go on, and we have people that send us stuff. We appreciate that so much. They'll say, hey, I don't know if you've seen this video or not. It comes in on every different stream that's out there usually. And yes, sometimes we get the hate mail, but that's okay. Not a lot, thankfully. Don't forget the fan section portion of the Cornbread Nation show. Excuse me, mispronouncing things there. And we'll be doing that as well. It's a great feature. And this week, our redneck destination is not announced yet, but we will be looking at redneck pickup lines. And so we'll give you the city that we're going to. So far, we've been over in Georgia and Dublin, and we went over to Dothan, Alabama. I heard Dothan mentioned this morning in a skit in the local radio station. Dothan got with less than a week of each show without either knowing. The radio station did a shout out to Dothan and a skit from there. Something's in the water. Something amazing's going on. Shout out to Dothan. We say we're having fun. We're saying it with all due respect. We hope people in Dothan will tune in and all over and come be a part of the zaniness and craziness. But we do have a new city and a new destination, redneck pickup lines, and we're going to talk about that. Some of them we can't mention them. I mean, they're just not family friendly. I mean, we will push the line a little bit, but some of these they just throw the hat in the middle of the ring and throw it out there, and it's just too much for us. So we're not doing it. But we have a lot of material, and we're looking forward to that, as well as our Jackwags segment. And we hope that we didn't have last week. We hope to have back this week the Southern Fried Recipe section. I've got something that if you have a recipe, this is another thing. Help us out. If you have a recipe for something, you can do this two ways. You can send us the recipe, and we will put that up on a card, make it all nice and look pretty. If you want to send a picture or not, that's fine too. You can do that, and we'll give you full credit. And if you want to leave, if you got a secret sauce or something, we'll still honor that. We won't say what it was. You can just leave that secret. If you want to make a video of you baking something, cooking something, please let us know. I would love that. There are some awesome people that cook amazing. You grill masters and all that stuff, we're all in. We'll be getting towards spring here soon. We're going to highlight some barbecue and some other things on the grill. And that was always our intention, too, to have a cooking segment. And so please get that to us. As I sit here and talk, someone on Clapper has just liked one of our videos. They come in all the time. We're thankful. Thank you there for whoever that was on Clapper. But yeah, get us those segments. We truly want to have, I grew up on Paula Deen or somebody like that, and it's fun. And there's a lot of great cooking, recipe and cooking shows and stuff like that. We don't want to get in. We're not taking over that market. We're not trying to, be that in that market. But we definitely want it to be a part of what we do. Southern foods are amazing, and they're awesome. And we're proud of the food that we make and the people that make those dishes. Every church dinner is thankful for all the care and concern that's put into Southern recipes. And if you're a member of a church somewhere and you have something that you're known for, every dinner they will always go ahead and put their order in, right? Hey, don't forget now, we're looking forward to whatever it is. My wife has lately she's not been cooking, baking and stuff, still a little bit, but she'll still bring some stuff. But my wife was known for a few things. She's kind of passed the torch on that a little bit. a little bit. We still bring some stuff. We still cook stuff, but so there's a couple dishes that she's not been. I don't think they know that she makes it. We may have to let them know. And but every dinner forever, they would always put in requests, and certainly in our holiday meals, it's always a request. But sometimes we have other time to do it now because my wife's doesn't feel like it. Sometimes not able to do that as much as she would like. But send us those, please. We want to do it. Another new segment will be coming. I don't think it'll be coming this week, but there's another new segment to the Cornbread Nation show that we'll have some fun with as well. This show is going to be ever evolving, and you'll see things pop in and pop out. So just stay with us. We're only on episode 4, and there's a lot to happen there with that show, and I promise you, it's going to grow. It's going to. In fact, we have 2 Cornbread Nation channels, and one is on Facebook, and that's sitting around 70-something people. Our one in Clapper is getting a lot of attention. I've got to start putting some stuff there from the Cornbread Nation. In fact, we're going to start that this week. Into this week, we're going to start loading some special things there from the Cornbread Nation. If you're on Clapper, please join it. Join the Cornbread Nation on Clapper. That's a great platform. I like that social app. It works great on the phone, but it's not big for our live shows. We can put addresses there and stuff. And they do great lives. I like to go on their lives. But those are fun. So a little bit of nuts and bolts of kind of stuff that's going on around here. We don't always announce. And it's probably boring to you in some ways, but all of this is to be a benefit to you. We talked today about some business things that we needed to talk about. Rob had discovered something in the settings that he was happy about. There's going to be some new things coming possibly on a Saturday night. I won't be a part of it. I'll be watching, but I can't be in it because of work. For right now, later on, maybe we're going to do a test run on something he's wanting to do, and we'll look forward to that. And there's other things that are coming very quickly. We will release our new store this week. I was hoping to do that tonight. Got delayed with people coming to see me and other things, but we have a new store. I promise you, it's oh so much better for you and us. We got some better pricing. It's much easier to navigate and to deal with, and the options are way better than what we had before. And the other one's still out there, but if somebody goes to it, they go to it. That's fine. We're just going to leave the stuff there, and the store will stay active, and that's fine. But we have a new store, a new, updated, new and improved store, and I promise you it's better. We've got new logo designs that you have not seen. Hey, there's my wife. She gave us a little love there. Heart, thank you for that. But there is, I showed it to Robert. I have done a lot of work in there, not a lot because it's so easy to use. And he got all excited. But there was logos he's not even seen. And we're still developing those. That's an ongoing project, but you'll be seeing more of those. There's a new logo for Mama Said, which you've kind of probably seen. If you paid attention, you've probably seen it. There's another Cornbread Nation logo that I don't think has ever been shown. And there's a couple other ones. So maybe 3 other ones that you've not seen, or have seen very limited. But there'll be some that you have not seen at all. And we have some that we're developing as now. So if you like a mug or something like that, And yes, very, very soon, we've mentioned that this year we will have our own coffee. We will have that. That's going to happen. Time frame, not sure, but I would say within 2 months. You'll see us, 3 for sure. You'll see us starting to make ads about that, and that coffee will come straight to your home, and it'll be taken care of for us. You just make the order. We'll have all kinds of blends. We'll have all kind of names associated to things that you're already familiar with, and a couple of surprises, and that will happen, and we'll be developing that as well. So, hey, coffee's a great thing. Nothing like having your own logo on some coffee. So I look forward to that. And that's something we've been pushing we talked about at the very formation of the podcast, our coffee. And there's a lot of places you can join and get discounts and stuff, but we wanted our own brands, our own logos on some coffee that we believe in. So but that will happen very, very soon. So since I'm on here by myself, and I just wanted to kind of go through a litany of those things as well. One more thing, I would just say that we don't have our MailChimp site up yet. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. But Rob has mentioned this a couple of times, but we would, if you would trust us with your email, we're going to start once a week, no more, an email from the podcast, probably early in the week. It'd be a little bit of newsletter, a little bit of stuff that we're highlighting with our store and some different things that will come out to you. So if you're willing to do that, if not, that's fine too. But yeah. Oh, she's putting in there that Jeremy's going to get me something to eat. Hey, that's service right there. Thank you for the news in the chat. We appreciate that. Hope you're doing well tonight. Appreciate you watching. Now I got to be good. My wife's watching the podcast. I can't get in trouble. I can get in trouble now. She will tell me to behave myself. So. Oh my goodness, she loves that. Lynn, are you still listening? Are you still listening? Because I might have to do the clip one more time. I don't think she's heard that clip. I might have to do that clip if you could bear with me, because it is too good not to. If she responds back, we got a few minutes left. We'll get into a couple other things here before we get off the air. I am going to update the Boswell case. Megan Boswell, who's charged with the killing of her daughter Evelyn Boswell, Sullivan County, Tennessee. Heartbreaking case. 5 years later, 5 years that this case finally is the trial is now started. The jury was seated, opening the statements today by the prosecution and the defense. I don't know if they started into the witnesses yet. They may have, but I know the opening statements got done. And going into tomorrow, this will be something you want to keep up with. It's a hard story, but for the blessing of just supporting this precious little girl and getting her justice, give that trial a look-see, and then pray when you're doing that for the missing children. And another one that's up in the Tennessee region is Summer Wells. Be praying she is still missing, and this is over 3 years now, I believe. Over 3 years. It's just a horrible, horrible thing. It is, I reached out to a podcaster up in the area that I've watched a lot of times, and I tried to get him to come on with us, and he must not have been interested. But he has done a lot of coverage on this, which several have. But he was right there the whole time. He's been faithful to it the whole time. And maybe we'll reach out one more time, because he really has a lot more information and stays closer to it than I do. But since the trial is going on, I would love to get him on. We'll just have to wait and see. He's a neat guy on the YouTube. He does YouTube. And that's where a lot of them, where I caught up with these cases, that was on YouTube. That's where I originally was watching a lot, then ventured over to Rumble and a few others. And who knew that we were going to be on the air with podcast. But if you're into, true crime or anything like that, we dabble in some of those stuff a little bit, because it's interesting to me and to Rob in these cases, but that's not our focus, and that's not something we do. But we do want to cover the news. And along with that, I would just say, as part of the business part of this, you'll start to hear some things soon. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I don't mind telling you that we'll be a business that will be what we believe it will be called, and we'll have initials off of that, the old acronym thing to make it shorter. Southern Fried Media Group. Southern Fried Media Group. We hope that will be. If not, we'll vary it a little bit, but that will happen soon, and we'll umbrella all of the things that we do underneath that, and hopefully in the future that will lead to some really great things. So we will see. We're in it for the long haul. However, the good Lord keeps us here and keeps us alert enough that we can get and, be active behind a mic. We're going to do it, and we want you to be a part of it. We appreciate your support. Thank you, Patriots. The Patriots of America have been the ones that have really supported us, and we can't say thank you enough for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast. We have really hit. It took us a little while to kind of get where we wanted to go with everything. We are now. We've hit the ground running, and we're in our lane, and we're doing well. Every show has a dedicated night and time except for 2, and we'll solve that this week. But and we'll start posting our schedule a little more and let you see that. We will have a website. We have it, but and it probably will even develop more. But we have one through the MailChimp that we're going to put out there. We also have one with Podbean, our audio site, but for the visuals and stuff, we'll probably use MailChimp. And we will put the schedule on there as well. Because some people forget. I was like, dude, I don't know when you're on. So I think most people that watch us, once you get those alerts, you follow us, you get those alerts, it's going to alert you. But sometimes we like to put those out early. Sometimes it's right before the show. We apologize. Just things out of our control. that have happened. But we will get that schedule up more, and we want you to know when it is. And I know with everything, I don't expect people to remember our schedule because they got life stuff, but we will get that up. And really, honestly, we record something or release something every day of the week. So that's where we're at, and that was really intentional, that we would be a destination point for somebody every day, and we've been active with that. Probably we'll do a morning show in the morning. We don't always do that on Thursday, but probably will. Thank you to all those on Instagram, Rumble, Facebook, X, wherever you're coming from tonight. We'll probably do a live, but we do have Cornbread Nation, maybe a late show. We'll have an interview, hopefully that will be released over the weekend. We usually release those on, Saturday, Sunday night, or Friday night or Sunday night or something like that. Once we get the interview, it's going to be a good interview. I'm looking forward to this. All of them are. They really are. We've got another interview coming up with Robert Diamond that will be coming right before he steps off on the Appalachian Trail, and he's going to be checking in from the trail. How cool is that? Depending on signal, and when we're on, he is going to check in with us from the Appalachian Trail, the AT, as he carries those names of those first responders, military folks, and all that have suffered, unfortunately, to become part of the 22 a day or whatever. So we'll let him explain that. I'm not going to try to be technical on that because that's his deal, and we're just supporting him. And I think we still have, let me check real quick. I don't think it was taken out here because we knew we'd have him back. We knew we would be supporting. I believe we have that. Yes, I believe this is it. Robin put this up. I don't think it's named, so I'm pretty sure this is it. This is the QR code to help him. I'm going to test that real quick myself and make sure. You don't have to, but if you can do something to help him out, you're not paying for his journey. It's paid for. He is just trying to, he wants to give to some veteran organizations and stuff. So let's see if this works. All right, I'm clicking on it now, and let's make sure that that's still working. And there it is. And he has raised so far, let me pull this back down. I'll leave it up just a second more because somebody might have been going for it. He has raised $254, and he's trying to raise $22,000. Now, what he wants is a penny a mile, and that comes out to $22. But you don't have to give that. You can give $1, 50 cents, $2, whatever. And I tell you what, while I've got this pulled up, I'm gonna make my donation as soon as I get off the air. I'm gonna keep that on my phone, so I'm gonna pull this down now. I'm gonna rename that too. It's easy to find when you. There we go. We had crazy stuff in there. Robert Diamond. Diamond in the rough. All right. The overlay is now named. He says in this, help Vice Commander Rob Diamond and American Legion Post 149 bring attention to veteran and first responder suicide, along with providing aid to veterans that have been hospitalized in the local VA hospital. Rob will be walking the Appalachian Trail, AT, from Georgia to Maine, starting on February 16th. So that is just days away. 2025. It is approximately 2,200 miles, and he will be carrying dog tags with the names of veterans and first responders that have taken their own lives. In honor of the 22 a day that are taking their own lives, Rob is asking for a small donation of 1 penny for each mile he walks, a donation of at least $22. The funds that are raised will be given to various organizations that support veterans and first responders with their mental health issues, and also to assist veterans who are hospitalized with personal hygiene needs that are not provided within the VA facility. We know that change starts with people like you. Every act of kindness, every dollar, and every moment of your time brings us closer to achieving our mission. Together, we can create a brighter, more compassionate war for all, and hopefully bring an end to veteran and first responder suicide. Then he has some ways that you can help, and it will show it shows some of the ones either anonymous or names that have given. Looks like the last donation was 3 days ago. We're going to change that tonight. Amen. Not bragging. I want to help, and we're going to make that. We're going to make that happen. If you can help, help. If you can't, pray. You can. We had a slogan that was years ago at the mission board. That some can go, many can give, and all can pray. So that's a good one. Some can go. He's going. He's doing this thing. And then, many can give, and we can be that. And all of us, these fingers coming back towards me, all of us can pray. So let's pray for Robert's trip, pray for his health, and pray that this awareness does help make a difference in somebody's life. If it's one veteran or first responder's life, it is worth every step of the way. And, to honor those people that have already succumbed, their memory, their families, pray for their families. So we should have been putting that up more. I'll make sure that happens. And I'll mention it to Rob. So if he's in, I'm not. We put that back on screen. So we get to talking sometimes, yapping, as I heard somebody today, yapping, and we forget to make those things. So hello, Quick Sig. Hello and good morning. Yes, it's good evening here. How's it going? It's going well, except for Rob. He's not feeling well. He had to leave the live. He kind of hurting in his back, and he's laying on the heating pad. He may be watching. I don't know. If he is, say hey to him, and if pray for him. He'd appreciate that. I wasn't feeling too well myself coming in the podcast. I was like, is this a night that I probably just need to rest? I'm like, no, I'm going to be a trooper and go on. And daggone if he wasn't feeling bad. So I guess it's a good thing that I come on so we wouldn't miss being with you. But how's it going for you there coming in from Twitch? And we appreciate that Twitch follow and everything. And we did get followed back. Yeah, good evening. We're good. Well, right now it is 9:40 Eastern Standard Time here where I am at. So what time is it where you are at? I guess I could put that on the stage so people that don't may not be seeing that. I didn't realize that everybody don't see every post that's in there. Nobody's in Twitch, no, but you. But we do have all the others that are in from the other streams. We are a collection of streams. We have 8 different streams, 7 or 8. I think we do a double on one of them. We're soon to add one. I'm sure this is going to happen. But sometimes we get 1 or 2 on Twitch. Sometimes there's nobody. But we do Twitch and Kick, Facebook, Rumble, X, YouTube, Instagram. I think I covered them all. So there's a lot of them in there. So there's 8 in the room. Well, okay. Well, so we are 8 in the morning. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning. Sometimes the glare off the screen messes with me. 8 in the morning. Well, yeah. I hope that you enjoy your day. This would be 8. I'm guessing we're already into tomorrow. It's kind of like a common thing, Tomorrow is today. Today is tomorrow. That would be 8 a.m. February 6th, I believe, if I'm accurate on that. So. But yeah, we appreciate you coming. I hope you have a great day. We've had a great day, or mostly a great day, and we're going to be doing a little work on podcast and then going to bed and getting ready for work tomorrow. And we're going to work. We're on live. If I'm on live in the morning, I'm going to try to. You will be in the bed. So we have folks that come in from Sydney, Australia. We've had the Netherlands. We've had France. We've had Thailand. We've got South Africa. We've had Canada and a couple of more places. I think Tijuana was in here one night. We need to get a map up and start pinning these places that are coming from across the country and start doing that. Maybe I'll work on that. That was fun to do at our church. Somebody donated a wonderful world map. Of course, at church you put your missionaries on it and stuff. So it's really a great visual. And we need to do that. We need to have one we pop up on screen. Yeah, thank you too. You're a blessing. Thanks for being here. What is your plans for the day? Since you're starting out on your morning, what is the plans for the day? Anything? Work, school, whatever. I just wondered what you're going to be doing. Again, thank you to all those in Instagram. I love those names. I do. I read every one of them. I was just reading Julius Caesar a while back. Okay. Well, that's some interesting reading right there. Absolutely. A lot of history. And you can read about that. You can, it has biblical implications and historical implications. And that's a good one to read. If you're going to read one, you can get a lot of stuff there. I don't know if, I love to read. The problem is finding time to read anymore. I stay so busy. I'm always thinking of stuff to do with podcasts. So I need to get back in my reading. But some people are prolific that were writers themselves. Like I like to read about the person, but that person is was a prolific writer. One of those is Winston Churchill. Oh my goodness, this man really cranked out the books, and I'd like to read them. But yeah, sometimes you're just reading about someone, and sometimes you're reading their works. So that's fun too. That is fun too. But Twitch is a great platform. It's I've seen ministry on there. I've seen talk shows and stuff, but it's mainly a gaming platform. But they have an awesome platform. It looks great. So does Kick. I mean, some of these others might need to step up their game a little bit. I mean, they do look good. I'm looking up at the TV right now, and I have YouTube on in the background on the TV, and it looks great. I mean, we're really blessed with some streams that look great for the most part. Until we don't. I mean, maybe not us, but it is. They look good, and they're pretty good streams, so we appreciate it. You can see I left my camera a little higher today. Some of the stuff on the shelf I've been putting up there. You can see my Georgia, and there's a few other things back there that we're doing. This is all fixing to change because I'm going to be kind of at a new desk. This is just a temporary that I'm in. I said, listen, we're going in that studio, ready or not, here we come, and that's where I'm at. We weren't quite ready. We're kind of working around all the electronics that I have in here already, but that's hopefully by the end of the weekend, we'll have most things done. There'll still be some things to do. There's always things to do, but mostly it'll be done. So we've got some backgrounds too that we're going to be adding, some for each show, some that we have that we're going to be using at some of our festivals. I cannot wait for festival season to come. I'm looking forward to going to those. Getting out in the public, we're going to get a lot of interviews. We'll be doing live. We'll just have them stop in, do the live. We're going to we'll do some interviews as well with some of those. So, but yeah, don't forget to support Robert Diamond. Pray for him. Absolutely. He needs your prayers, and we need your prayers. Pray for Rob. Pray for Cook. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he's got flu and pneumonia. He's had gout. I mean, this man has just been through it, and that's horrible. I hate that for him. So we're going to close just a little early. I don't want to belabor the point. I've covered all that I really wanted to, and we'll see. We'll probably see in the morning. I'm looking forward to doing a Thursday morning live, but there is live shows tomorrow. Have a great day at school, work. Have a good night of rest or whatever it is you're going to do tonight. Pray for our nation. Pray for the president. Let's pray for the confirmations. Pray for the Evelyn Boswell trial. For that child to get some justice as she rests in the arms of Jesus. And I hate that. And don't forget to pray for Summer Wells. Missing children, that's a horrible thing. Pray for the Lake and Raleigh family and this act that has been passed and already making a difference out there. Pray for that family. So many people to pray for. There's never a shortage of someone to pray for. Absolutely. Hey, we'll see you later, and y'all take care. And thank y'all for all of you that took part in the chat or just listen. You are a blessing. You are one of us. Take care. Salute, as we say here. We'll see you soon. I might do the outgoing video. I guess I should. There's outdoor one. All right.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.